So there are three ways that we're going to solve a quadratic formula, right? So the first thing I want you to do on this, so you're going to turn your paper over onto the note side. You got a little chart. You ready? So you're going to take this guy right here. You're going to maybe turn him sideways or write him if you have room. I want you to write him, let's see, turn like this. I want you to kind of write him right here. Does that make sense? So here's what I want you to do. This guy is different from these two other guys. Can you see why he's different? He's missing something. What is this guy missing that this guy has and this guy has? That middle guy. Do you see how this guy has, he has this X guy and this guy has the B guy? He doesn't have one. So this is the one that's most important. So right along the side, I want you to do this. I want you to write 2x squared plus 3 equals negative 9, right? Here's what's important. No middle guy. And you know in math words, that's called no linear term. And you know what we do with him? Square root. Jules, I need Jackson to watch. So Jackson, if you're having a really hard time, you know what you could do is twist your desk maybe, like your whole desk, just so it's just, I know it's just so tempting. It's perfect, that's perfect, right? So this is the one I care about. This is the only one you got to watch for. The other two, I'm not so worried about. It's this guy. We're going to watch for no middle guy. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to do the square root jail. If you even want to say square root jail. The reason we like this guy, he's pretty easy to do, right? We're going to practice some in a minute. He's pretty easy. The bad news about him, the bad news is that you have to watch for him, right? Watch for him. You got to kind of keep your eyes peeled for him. So in a few minutes when we get ready to do our practice, we're going to pick out all of these weirdo square root jail guys, right? The ones that are missing the middle guys. The next ones that we do, the next method is factoring, right? Factoring. And the hint is this. It's the thing where you do the x like factors of 24 that make 11. Like that's the hint of how to do it. I call it x factoring, right? It's got to have 3 parts. 1, 2, 3. And here's why I like it. I like it because, man, I can do it so fast. I am so quick at it. I can say, oh, x equals negative 8, x equals negative 3. It's fast, right? It's fast and it's easy. The problem is it doesn't always work. So I have some students, when you get to choose, who are going to say to me, Miss T, I don't want to try to figure out if I can factor it or not, so can I just use quadratic formula? And my answer is, if I don't tell you you can't, you totally can't, right? So one problem on the test, you'll have to factor, because I will say, please factor this. But after that, if on the rest of them, if you want to use quadratic formula, you totally can. Just don't do it for this guy. It's too much of a pain in the ass. The last guy is the quad formula, right? The hint on him is that I'm going to write it on the test for you, right? I'm going to write the whole formula, negative b plus blah, 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 blah. I'll write that on the test. So you don't even have to worry about the hint. The pro of it is it always works. It always works. The con of it, it's weird. So for you guys, like I hate it. But you guys were great at it yesterday. So I don't know the con. The con is Miss T hates it. But I guess some of you are like, I don't hate it. So I guess the con is that if you'll just break my heart, I don't know. But I hate the quadratic formula. Like it is the whole reason every year I think maybe I don't want to teach algebra 2 because I loathe the quadratic formula. I just don't like it. Yeah, I make mistakes. I go too fast and I'm not careful. But if you're careful, it's not bad. So here's what I want to do now. What we're about to do is I need to hide this for just a second because I gotta fix it. We're gonna look at some problems and we're gonna decide where they go. So here we go. Let me go ahead and fix this up. I already have them written down here, so I have to change it because I have to make it a little tricky here. So tricky. Okay, here we go. Here we go. We got 3 problems up there. One, I would recommend doing by square roots. One, you could factor it, and it would be really fast. One, you have to use quadratic formula on, because there's no other way. So we're going to try to see if we can figure out which is which. You guys ready? So the most important one of these 3 is the one that has to be, like, you want to use square roots. So Jackson, again, let's pull our desk, just turn it a little bit more. A little bit more.
All the way.
There you go. That's perfect. Okay, so can I have you do this? Oh, this is crazy. I just made a move, and now he has to kind of turn back. Can you talk with your table group and decide which one of these is the square root one? Take a look. Which one is the square root one? Decide with your table group right now. Of these 3, is it number A? Is it B? Is it C? Which one do you think should be the square root, guys? Decide each other right now. Talk to each other. Yes. Awesome. You guys got an answer? Which one is it, A, B, or C? It's B. Can anyone tell me why it's B? Yeah, because there's an x squared, but there's no 1x. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to do this problem together. You guys ready? Let's do it. We're going to do this problem. Okay, get ready. We're going to do it all the way through, and so you guys know how to do a square root problem. And you know what? For all 3 of these, I picked kind of hard ones. So here we go. We want to get this guy. He's the naughty criminal. We want him to be alone. So Chris, we're going to go through this problem together. Chris, are you ready? Lucas, I'm going to have Chris focus up here because he was absent, so I wanted him really to focus on this. So we're going to subtract 2 from both sides. So I'm going to get 2x squared equals negative 36. Have I lost anybody? We're all thinking, no, this thing, you're awesome. That's what I want to hear. Thank you so much. Now, I want to get that x squared alone. So I'm going to divide by 2 and divide by 2. So I've got x squared equals negative 18. Are we okay with that, right? Now that x squared is alone, put him in jail. Now we put him in jail. So boom, he's in jail, he's in jail. So I'm going to get x equals, but I got to do some stuff to that negative 18. There's a lot of work that needs to be done there. The first thing is, I'm going to pull something out. What am I going to pull out? An I. You guys are on fire, man. I'm going to pull that I out. The next thing I need to do is I need to break that 18 down. I'm going to break it down into 9 and 2. Does that work? And then I'm going to go 3 and 3. So a 3 comes out, a 2 stays in jail. And normally, I would be like, phew, I got 1 right on the test. But you would be sad, because whenever I have a squared, how many answers am I going to get? 2. So what's my other answer? Nah, it's a plus minus if you're fancy, or just negative if you're not. Yeah? That's the one I care about. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth on the next 2. If you wanted to, you could quadratic formula them both, right? If you're like, Miss Tia, I don't want to factor that. You could quadratic formula them both. But I don't like quadratic formula. So here's what I do. I take a quick look at it. No lie, 5 seconds. And I say to myself, are there 2 numbers that multiply to be 10 and add up to be 6? So here's what makes 10. 1 and 10, does that make 6? No. 2 and 5, does that make 6? No. So guess what? Quadratic formula. How about this one? 16 and subtract to be 6. Some numbers that multiply to be 16, but when I put them together, they make 6. Are there 2 numbers that do that? 16 and 1, if I subtract them, that doesn't make 6. 8 and 2, if I subtract them, that makes 6. Did you honestly see how long that took me? It took me 5 seconds. But if you're like, Miss Tia, I don't want to do that, you could slide this guy over to here, and that's okay, right? But for me, I am much faster and more efficient on this guy, because watch how easy it is to do. Factors of negative 16 that make negative 6, negative 8, positive 3, x equals 8 and 3 negative. Literally. Two, sorry. Okay, now I'm gonna look stupid. I'm like, look how fast and easy it is. 2 and 2. Yeah, I am much faster at factory. I am much faster at factory. But there are a number of you who are like, screw that, man. One problem on the test, you got to do rainbow, but other than that, you can decide. So here's what we're going to do now. We're going to do this last one, quadratic formula. It is hard. Do it on your whiteboard desk. I want everyone in here to do this problem on their whiteboard desk. It is a hard one. Right now, that's like the last problem on the test. Last problem on the test is this bad boy right there. It was x squared plus 6x plus 10. I think that was it, yeah? Everyone's doing this on their whiteboard desk. Martin's doing it on his whiteboard desk. Ty's doing it on her whiteboard desk. Everyone's doing it on a whiteboard desk. Because I want to be able to walk by and see if I can help anybody. Whiteboard desk. This is as hard as it gets. Whiteboard desk. Oh, I think I heard it. If you need your pen, just put a pen over there. Put your pen shut. But this is as hard as it gets. It's like the last one on the test. You can do this one, you got it. This one's chunky. There's a lot to it. There's going to be some eyes. There's going to be some ribs. You are like me. The quadrant for me kills me. Because I go too fast and I make a little error. We do need this one on the board. Yes, and I'll leave it. You're so close. You're so close. Take them out again. What time's working before? Oh. 2 hours. And then we're gonna release. It's a crazy answer. Good answer. Nice. I love the way you're showing it. Beautiful. Beautiful. So you're finding answers. Oh, beautiful. You're even. Oh, look at that. And this is the thing that changes. Oh. Wow. I know. See? Beautiful. Okay, so let me walk us through where you're at. So, negative 6. Now, the I comes out, right? Switch that out to 2. Boom. Is that and then negative 3. So the 2 comes out, and the other one dies, so there's no one left to do. Yeah. Almost done. There's like 3 of them. And these are the deep. Yes. 2 goes into there how many times? 3 times? How many times is 1 down? How many times is 2 going down? That's one of my answers. What's the other? What? Let's go. Write it. Write it. Yes. Yes. You ask Max, because he knows how to do it. Yeah. Tell him. Okay, here we go. Or I'm going to do it up here because you're going to too. Here we go. The first thing I'm going to ask on the test is that you do this. I want to give you partial credit. So what I saw some kids do is that they're working away, and they make a mistake in the very first step, right? If you have this written, and I see that your mistake is that you went 1, 6, and by accident put a negative 10, but everything else is right, I can give you almost full credit. But if you don't write this down and you just blow into the problem, and I don't know that you've made that mistake in the beginning, I can't give you partial credit. So please help me help you, right? Okay. Here we go. Nice and slow. -6 plus 36 plus -4 times 1 times 10 all over 2 times 1. Am I okay? Yeah? No one's looking at me thinking that you totally blew that, Miss T. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start cleaning it up. That's going to just be 2. That's going to be -40. That's going to be -4. Am I okay to there? Can I see a wiggle of fingers if you got to this point? Yeah? Yeah, so, Sammy, are you, oh, SFQ, don't do that yet. Where did it go? Is it gone? Is that it? That wasn't it. Hold on, I lost it. That, you know, that's something, oh, well, I guess it's that. Okay, yeah, I guess it's just farther along than I thought I was. Sorry, weird people at home. Okay, so here's what. I'm going to take out the I, and then I'm going to break down the 2. Does that make sense? So watch what I get. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fix it for you so I can show you. Get out of here, dude. So I'm going to move this down like this. I'm going to do it so you see it. Okay, so here's where it gets tricky. This is as hard as they get. -6 plus, I pulled out that I, and the 2 comes out, but the other 2 dies, and there's no one left in jail. So I have that. And then you have to remember, if you can reduce, you do. What the hell? I know. So this and this and this all get reduced. So here's what I get when I do it. I'm going to get 2 goes in there -3 times. 2 goes in there 1 time. And 2 goes in there 1 time. Yeah? Are we okay? No, there's 2. Okay, well. And if you're fancy, you can get rid of that. Okay, last thing I need to tell you. Weird case. Okay, everyone's watching me. Tony's watching me. Last thing I have to tell you. One of your problems on the test will be a rainbow one. I will tell you right now, you can do it. You guys are good. You've done it a million times. Mia, I need you to watch me for a second. So what I need to tell you is this. There are a lot of teachers in this department who are starting to not teach hardly any factoring. And they're going to say, do it all by the quadratic formula. So here's the thing. When you get to a problem like this, I am pretty fast at this because I'm a nerd and I have no friends. And I can say, what are the factors of 21 that make 20? I would factor that. But if you don't want to test and you just want to do quad formula, you are welcome to, right? So I just want you to know, some of the teachers are saying, just go straight to quad formula. So that's going to be your choice. I'm about to give you your practice, and here's what I want us to do. I'm going to give you the problems, and we're going to talk together as a class and put S or F or Q next to each problem, and I'm going to show you what that means. And I'm going to stop taping because the other class I taped for 50 minutes. Bye, friends.